Okay, so hello. I'm here to show off some of the backend since that's what I worked on. There's been a lot of features here that we added in order to get this to work. So let's start with our database. So here you can see all of our tables. These are essential to making the app function. Earlier we showed a lot of login, so I can actually show some of these. As you see here, we have our user table. We have our user IDs, our hashes, which are encrypted with 60 character hash code encryption. I'll go in more detail of that later. We store all of the info, as mentioned earlier. You probably saw some of these fields show up when we were showing off our front end. I won't go into all of the schemas for every single table because that would take forever. But I will say we also showed off groups. We use Divvy groups and Divvy group members in order to map a many-to-many relationship between groups and users. The same applies to expenses as well. Temporary groups are created as well for temporary expenses in which we don't have a permanent group set up. And now I'll show off some of the features within our code. So we went on a lot about security. Security was a concern we took very seriously. So as you can see, we implemented HTTPS. All communications are secured through in-house certificates, which you can see over here. This allows for everything encrypted such that no one can snoop in on what messages are sent before. That keeps all password data, all payment information secure. Here's another script showing how we generated these. Um, Now, in addition to that, we use all of the modern security techniques in authentication and whatnot, such as we use bcrypt, which is a very modern hashing algorithm. In this case, it's being used along with Passport.js to compare to. This protects us against timing attacks, which are very common these days and tricky to get right. Here we show off how we generate password hashes in the first place. This is what I mentioned earlier. We generate a salt to avoid dictionary attacks. We use bcrypt hashes as well. This generates a 60 character hash, which is uh, very powerful, hard to break through. So if our database is ever hacked, we're ensured that all password data is completely secure. No one really gets anything from it. Uh, I won't go through all this in detail, but we also have here all of our API methods and whatnot. We have this all written out, documented. There's a lot here. Not all of it has been implemented yet, obviously, but most of this has been brought in. So yeah, I'll take it over to Tyus now.
Right. Here in our repositories, we can see how the developmental process looked for the application and how we imported and connected different types of packages using the React and Node JS system for our application. We had different developmental strategies and we used different packages. If you can see here, we have our list in our backend for different packages like bscript, Express, Node, Passport, and even all the way down here we have Stripe. Each has its own unique use, such as bscript building hash passwords so that we can manage the passwords and have them more secure so that they won't be easily read out through text. We have different things like MySQL sessions so we can build database schemas for new users. And we also have Passport so that we can use the authentication for the new users so that they can have their passwords and users checked. And then here down at the bottom, we have Stripe, where Stripe will allow us to have payment processes and import different payment methods for each user. We can use React and have all of these packages imported at once and then connect them also to our front end where we have similar packages, but of also of different uses, where we have React Native and we have the different types of icon building, front end building, such as the font builders or the status symbols or bars that we can use for our UI. And we also have gesture handlers from React Native so that we can have our users interact with the screen and interact with their page so that they can build the said groups and connect to the backend. And then that's how we can import all of these at once with our install methods and install functions and have our app ported into one safe space.